All right, now for more insight into the Belt and Road Initiative and Asia, we're joined by Lee Soon-oi, Adjunct Senior Fellow at the Institute of Defense and Strategic Studies of Nanyang Technological University. Welcome to the show.
Hi.
So tell us about the significance of the Belt and Road Forum of International Cooperation.
Well, I think for a lot of us, for example, in Southeast Asia, we look upon the Belt and Road Initiative as yet another measure to sort of deepen and broaden our already quite robust trade volume with China in particular, but also with other countries along the Belt and Road initiatives. For example, among us, Southeast Asian countries, but also with some of the examples pointed out, for example, with Turkey and with other countries in central part of Asia. So I think this sort of awareness as to, for example, the magnitude of the Belt and Road Initiative, I think it needs to be promoted more, for example, because nowadays we see a lot of state-owned enterprises from both China as well as other Southeast Asian countries. They work hand in hand together. But if this sort of working model could be sort of permeated down to even the small and medium enterprises level, I think, for example, the efficacy, the efficiency for this Belt and Road Initiative could be even magnified. Yeah.
So how do the participating countries really benefit from their involvement, especially in the Asian region?
Well, I think at least for those of us who are on the 21st century maritime Silk Road route, for us, this is frankly not something new that, for example, either from our initiative or from China's initiative, we will try to increase the amount of mutual sort of communications, not only in terms of trade, but also in the cultural sector, but also, for example, in exchanges of various peoples from both sides. I think we look forward to that. I mean, in addition to trade, for example, if you take education as a prime example, we see a lot of Southeast Asians going to China for further studies, and a lot of Chinese students coming to Southeast Asia for further studies. Number one, this sort of makes for example, the educational services sector in both China and Southeast Asia more robust. And number two, of course, it then increases the understanding at the people-to-people level between China and Southeast Asia.
Now, in terms of investment, what have we seen so far, and what are the expectations?
Well, I think so far in terms of investment, you've seen a lot of it in the infrastructural development sector. We see with the help of China, a lot of Southeast Asian countries are beefing up, for example, their railroad network, their highways, their ports, as well as the airports and so on. And those are very good because they lay the groundwork for the increased trading volume, for increased exchanges between China and Southeast Asia. But I think on top of that, as I said, we really need to promote, for example, the small and medium enterprises from Southeast Asia as well as from China so that they could work further together. Because it's sometimes very miraculous if you just let go, if you just let loose these small and medium enterprises to work together, sometimes they could really bring together not only more trade volume, but as I said, more friendship. It comes to be something very natural, more friendship between the peoples of both sides. Yeah.
And just quickly, for the average person watching at home or trying to run a small or medium-sized business, how can they relate to the developments that we're seeing with the Belt and Road?
Well, for example, let's take the Southeast Asian countries, there are a lot of these natural resources, or for example, products which traditionally we in Southeast Asia believe would have some medicinal efficacy or medicinal purpose. If we could, under the aegis of the Belt and Road Initiative, sell more and more of these products to China, sometimes not only through the traditional trading channels, but nowadays, for example, you have Alibaba and various online trading platforms, which enables a lot of these previously inaccessible markets now to be accessed. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much for your insights there, Ee Sun Oi, Principal Advisor at the Pacific Research Center in Malaysia.